chemistry classes. This is Miss Munoz. I'm just going to show you how to collect your hydrogen gas today. You have a procedure sheet in your notebook, and you're going to look at number 1, and you're just going to make sure that your plunger goes in and out of your syringe easily. Step 2, you're going to use a scale. You're going to put this tiny little hard plastic cap onto the scale, and you want to zero it. So we're going to zero the scale, and then the procedure tells you to add 0.07 grams of magnesium powder. So you're going to take the powder, you're going to use a metal spatula, and you're just going to go a little bit at a time. So that was about 0.03. Now that's 0.08, so we'll take just a little bit out. And there's 0.07. Alright, step 3 asks you to take the plunger out, and I'm going to give this to Wendy, and she's going to fill the syringe up to the top with water, and she's going to plug the bottom with her finger so that it can't fall out. Over there. Okay. And she's gonna get the water all the way to the top.
Oh, all the way?
Yeah, all the way to the top. Okay. And then we're gonna float the cap that has the magnesium on top of the water, and then she's gonna let the water flow out, and then the cap is gonna rest. Yeah, go ahead. And so hold it up so they can see the water flowing out. And then the cap is just going to sink down very slowly, and then it's going to rest at the bottom of the syringe. Okay, now that actually took you through step 5. Step 6, you're going to replace the plunger down into the syringe. And if you do, it's actually just the air is going to get pushed out underneath the cap, and that cap should just rest right inside of there. And then you're going to kind of hold it in place with the plunger pointing into the cap so that it's secure. Step 7, you're going to get hydrochloric acid. It should be 1 molar, so check your concentration. 1 molar is very important, and you're going to pour about 10 milliliters of it into the beaker. All right, that was step 7. Step 8, you want about 5 milliliters of that acid pulled up into your syringe. And you're going to be able to tell when it's at 5 when the liquid hits the 5 mark. Okay, so I went a little over, so I'm just going to squirt some out. Check it. And that's pretty good. And you'll see that the cap is still floating inside the syringe. It's actually floating on top of the acid. Okay. Step 9, you're going to take this other little piece, and it's the end cap for the syringe, and you're just going to put that on there. Try not to get any acid on your hand. If you do, it's not very strong acid. It's only 1 molar, and you can just rinse it off in the sink. And that is, now we're at step 10. Now step 10, 11, and 12, we're going to sort of go all together at once. But basically, At this point, we're ready to allow our acid and our magnesium to mix. So we're going to shake it up. As soon as that happens, hydrogen gas is going to be generated. And the hydrogen gas is going to push the plunger up, and then this whole thing will be collected with hydrogen gas that we'll be able to use for testing later. So we're going to go back over by the sink, because as this gets to the 60 mark, we're going to want to be able to release the pressure because we don't want the plunger to come all the way out. So we're going to head back over to the sink. And I'm going to have Wendy go ahead and shake that up. So we'll get it, okay, that's good. So we'll get a close-up. We see the plunger is going like this. Once she gets up to about the 55 milliliter mark, she's going to turn it over. Almost, yeah. So she's going to go ahead and turn it over now, and we want to release the pressure while it's like this, because that way, and you might have heard that little noise, that way the acid doesn't come out. Otherwise the acid would have squirted out into the sink and on your hand. It's not horrible, but you would have to rinse if you did that. So this way we don't get any acid on our hand. And then we sort of want to wait until the bubbling has stopped. And I really don't want, my plunger actually went a little bit too far, but that's okay. As long as it's not popped out, it should be fine. So I'm just sort of trying to wait for the bubbling to stop before I completely go on to the next step. Okay, once you see that the bubbling has stopped, you can secure this back onto the end here. Alright, that was step 12. And now you're ready for the washing procedure. So with the washing procedure, no, actually, now we want to do step 12. Step 12 means we want to take the lid back off, and we want this acid to be removed. So we're going to turn it back upside down. And you should note how your syringe feels. This is an exothermic reaction, and it's giving off heat energy. And you want to squirt this into the sink only until the liquid is gone. So once I see the liquid done, I'm going to stop squirting, because if I keep squirting, I'm losing my hydrogen gas. And then I'm going to go ahead and recap this. That's through step 12. Now we're going to start the washing procedure. So the washing is done in order to remove any of the excess acid that's in there. And at this point, we need a beaker of water. And one of these small beakers is fine, but really any size is fine. And so now you're going to take the cap off, and you should be around 50 or 60, and there's enough room to pull up a little bit of water into here. Just make sure you don't pull the plunger all the way up. So I'm just pulling some water up. And then this is the part where I'm going to rinse this out, just sort of shake. It's going to get all the extra acid out. And then I'm going to squirt that liquid out. And just like before, I'm going to stop squirting once all the liquid's out, because this is all hydrogen gas inside of here. So I close that up, and that is how you get a tube of hydrogen gas. The next part's going to be to make oxygen, and you're going to do that very much the same way. Instead of acid, though, you're going to use hydrogen peroxide, 6%, and instead of magnesium, you're going to use a catalyst called potassium iodide, but it's done the exact same way. All right, good luck, guys.